We are so grateful to have you here at our first virtual Yoga Gives to St. Jude Kids, led by the Present Wisdom community. So I hope you all are having a beautiful start to your Saturday. It is an incredible blessing to be with you here today. My name is Melanie Johnson, and I have the privilege of working for St. Jude in our Seattle fundraising office. And this is co-hosted by not only the Present Wisdom community, but also the fabulous Melissa Bird up in our New York City office for St. Jude. We are just humbled and grateful for all of you coming in to join us today for this nourishing yoga buffet hosted by our Present Wisdom amazing teachers. So before we jump in, we have just a couple of things to say thank you for. So first of all, the Present Wisdom community, thank you for hosting this with and for us. We have raised north of $5,000 for the kids at St. Jude, which we are humbled and grateful for. And donations that website will stay open and continue to donate over the next week. So we also have some amazing door prizes and entries from Athleta out of the Scarsdale and the new Mount Kisco, location. Hickory and Tweed, Livanos Restaurant Group, the Modern Barn Restaurant and City Limits Diner, Proclinix, who bought tickets for their patients, which is incredible. And again, all of you who submitted an entry fee of the $10 will be entered to win a fabulous door prize. And everyone that's here today will also receive a $15 Athleta shop card. So Athleta is an incredible supporter of this event, and we are so, so grateful. Yeah, huge effort. Love that. Thank you, Jackie. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Melissa.
Thanks, Melanie. Hi, everyone. I am Melissa. As Melanie mentioned, we have the extreme honor to work for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And when we talk about St. Jude, there's just so many things that we can talk about. And I just love to cover some of the biggest points I want to share with you today that you're making happen at St. Jude. So St. Jude is changing the way that the world understands, treats, and eventually defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. St. Jude is where doctors send their toughest cases because St. Jude has the world's best survival rates for the world's most aggressive and rare forms of childhood cancer. St. Jude is also a beacon of hope for so many families because when families come to St. Jude takes care of their treatment while they're there, takes care of their housing for however long they may be at St. Jude, their food while they're there, and their travel to get there. So families never receive a bill from St. Jude. And that's because we believe that all a family should have to worry about is helping their child live. I know Melanie and I feel like we could talk about St. Jude all day long, but I'm very honored that a local to New York, St. Jude family, Coram, Zara, and Amani shared more about their journey at St. Jude and how they're doing today with us. So I'm going to share the video they sent in now. Let's see. Make sure my sound is on, and here we go.
Hi, everybody. My name is Coram. This is my wife, Sarah, and our beautiful daughter, Imani. We are residents of Long Island, New York, and our daughter, Imani, who you see over here, was a St. Jude patient.
When Imani was 5 weeks old, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor. She had emergency surgery about 12 hours after she was diagnosed, and we were told by doctors here in New York that she wasn't going to do very well because they didn't have too much experience with this kind of tumor, and it doesn't usually respond to traditional chemo. So we reached out to a lot of other hospitals looking for second opinions, and we got a call from St. Jude on Christmas Eve saying that they wanted to fly us down for their experimental therapy.
So we got on that plane with our daughter, Hope, and a suitcase, and we landed in Memphis, and we started aggressive treatment right away, and Imani responded beautifully. Within 2 months, we found that her tumor had shrunken by nearly half, and then she underwent a very long and complicated surgery to remove the rest of the tumor. And on March 6th, she was deemed cancer-free.
And as you can see, thanks to St. Jude, she is doing awesome. She is very hyper, she's very happy, she's thriving, she's loving being back at home, and she's about to turn 1 year old next month.
When we got to Memphis, Tennessee, everything was taken care of by the wonderful people at St. Jude. We didn't know anybody in Memphis, as we're New York natives. We had never been to Memphis. In fact, we'd never been to Tennessee. St. Jude gave us a brand new apartment, all fully paid for by St. Jude. We were given transportation, meals, and treatment, all free of charge, thanks to the generous donations from people such as yourself. We want to thank all the tri-state area supporters for helping families such as ours, especially when we're new to Memphis. Our daughter is a living testament to the wonders and magic of St. Jude.
Well, isn't that so fun? And you can tell Amani was excited to get started on her yoga. So with that, I am going to turn it over to our lovely friends at the Present Wisdom community. Alka will be joining us first. And first, I just want to say a big, big thank you to the whole entire Present Wisdom community for allowing us to do this today and starting our Valentine's Day weekend off by sharing the love in such an incredible way. So Alka, turning it over to you.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, and thank you for sharing your love today for such an amazing cause. And the lungs on that little girl, wow, how lucky are we to be able to hear that. So I am Alka Kaminer, and I am so grateful, Melissa and Melanie, for allowing us to collaborate with you to benefit such a great cause, St. Jude Children's Hospital. Let me tell you a little bit about us. So Present Wisdom Community came about last year when a bunch of teachers got together and decided we need to do a yoga collaborative to bring yoga to our local community as well as our extended global community. My husband Brian and I co-founded it, and we've been really fortunate and blessed to have amazing teachers join us. So giving just a minute here to introduce these wonderful teachers. First off, there is Pama Manners. She teaches our yoga core, our hatha yoga, and our stretch and recovery yoga classes on Present Wisdom. Hi, Pama.
Hello, everyone.
And then we have Barbara Dunn. She is our resident Kripalu yogi instructor. And so, hello, Barbara.
Hello.
Welcome. And then following Barbara, we've got Marla Sukoff, and she is our gentle yoga specialist, also specializing on the pelvic floor. So, hello.
Hi, welcome.
And then finally, we've got Nanette Wasserman here from Florida. Thank goodness for technology that she can be with us from Florida.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming.
And she specializes in yin yoga as well as hatha yoga on Present Wisdom. So let me tell you a little bit about today. We're doing what's called a yoga buffet, something we created to give you a little flavor, a little taste of what each of us teachers teach at Present Wisdom, along with the different styles of yoga. So as we move through the class, you will get a full 75-minute class, and each teacher will teach a different portion of the class. As we move and transition from teacher to teacher, you will hear a little chime, and that will alert you that we are now moving to the next teacher. All right, so let's get started. Hopefully everybody has a yoga mat and props. We've got blocks available. You can keep them at the top of your mat, a strap just in case you need one for your practice, a blanket if you need to support your knees or for the end of practice to warm you up, and a pillow, a cushion, or a bolster. All right. Now we're going to lay on our backs. And what better way to start a class than with Shavasana, right? All right. Take a deep breath, and as you inhale, bring the arms overhead and just stretch your body long, welcoming the day. And then bring your arms alongside your hips, palms facing up. And then take this moment to arrive on your mats, letting go of whatever brought you here and whatever you have yet to do today. Bring your awareness to your toes, the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, your heels and ankles, and soften. Relaxing the shins, the calves, the knees, the back of the knees. And as you take your next breath, bring your awareness up the thighs and the back of the thighs. Relax, release. Soften your sexual organs. Let the belly grow soft. Relax your low back, mid back, and upper back. Soften the shoulders away from your ears, relaxing the elbows, the wrists, and the fingers. Bringing your awareness back to your belly, inhale up to your heart center, soften the muscles around the heart. Bring your awareness to your throat, relaxing the muscles around the throat. Relax the jaw. Create space between the teeth, large enough for a grain of rice. Soften the muscles of your face all the way up to the crown of your head. Feel the support. Feel the support of the earth. And find your breath. Recently, I was inspired by the movie Soul on Disney. In this movie, Joe Gardner is so focused on fulfilling his goal of being a professional musician, he loses the essence of life and the opportunities of creating connection with others. He ultimately learns he has never been truly present in life. Only through life's challenges does he realize how much he has lost. This prompts him to give the ultimate gift of life to another being, and therein he finds his spark, his magic, life's magic. St. Jude has this magic. the magic of being fully present to what serves each child and their families. This giving and receiving creates the spark. In yoga, the spark is called Shakti. Shakti is the energy that empowers us to be luminous, radiant, creative, and in the flow with the universe. This is the magic of yoga. On the mat in our practice today, with each inhale, we receive the gift of life, prana. With each exhale, we offer our unique energy to the universe, which allows us to ground ourselves so we can rise with our magic, to receive our Shakti. Take a deep breath, inhale, and receive the gift of life. And as you exhale, offer your unique energy to the universe. Bringing your awareness back into this time and space, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, moving your wrists and your ankles. Take a breath and stretch nice and long. And then with the exhalation, bring your knees into your chest, bringing your hands to your shins or knees. Gently circle the knees around in one direction and then the other. And then open the arms into a T, bringing your knees back over your hips. And then gently bring your knees across the body to the left side, trying to keep the opposite shoulder on the floor for a supine twist. Breathe into the side body there. And then inhale, engaging your core, lift the knees back through center, over to the right side, keeping the opposite shoulder on the floor. Take a breath. And then with your next inhalation, bring your left arm to meet the right, to come onto your right side. Stay here for one breath. And then gently press yourself up into a seated posture, finding a comfortable seat. Lift and lengthen your spine, soften your shoulders, close your eyes or bring your gaze down towards the floor. Bringing your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra, honoring this moment. Setting an intention for your practice today. You are welcome to join me in chanting the vibrational healing sound of Om one time to begin. Inhale. Flutter the eyes open. Interlace your fingers. Inhale. Reach the arms up. Soften the shoulders. Lift and lengthen. Grab your right wrist. Lean over towards the left. Press that right knee down. Inhale, come back through center. Grab your left wrist. Lean over to the right. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, come back through center. Release the hands to the floor. Turning gaze over your left shoulder. Come back through center. Turning gaze over your right. Inhale, back through center. Take your left arm to shoulder height, palm facing back. Bend the elbow and bring the hand behind your sacrum. Lift and lengthen the spine. Gently lean the right ear to right shoulder. Feel that stretch. And this may be deep enough for you. You're welcome to stay right here. Or take that right arm up at shoulder height, gently bend the elbow, and place the hand on the side of your head. Try not to pull your head. You're just resting your hand there as a gentle weight. Allow the breath to stretch the body. And then with your next breath, bring your chin slightly towards your chest, in towards your right armpit. Take another breath. And then just lift the chin up to where the wall and the ceiling meet, to feel the stretch in your scalene muscles. And then release the hands back to the floor and bring your chin into your chest. Inhale, lift the head back up through center. Take the right arm out at shoulder height, palm facing back. Bend the elbow and bring the hand behind your sacrum. Lift and lengthen the spine, soften the shoulders. Take your left ear to left shoulder. Feel that stretch. Option to stay right here, or lift that left arm up at shoulder height. Gently bend the elbow and place the hand on the side of your head. Take a breath. Gently lean the chin in towards your chest, your head towards your left armpit. And then with your next breath, lift the chin up and feel that stretch. Inhale, bring your chin back to your chest, releasing your hands. Lift the head back up through center. Switch the leg that's in front. And now we're going to roll the shoulders up and back, up and back, up and back. And let's roll them the other way. I know we've all been sitting in front of our computers for long periods of time. We feel it in our neck and shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Soften the shoulders, spread your fingers, lengthen the spine. Take your right hand to your left knee. Left hand comes behind your back. Lift, lengthen the spine first. Let the navel, the rib cage, the chest turn to gaze over your left shoulder. Take another breath here. And then inhale, lift the arms back up through center. And then as you exhale, bring that left hand to right knee, right hand behind your back. Once again, lift, lengthen the spine, navel, rib cage, chest. Your head is the last thing to turn and twist. Inhale, back up through center, arms reach up. And then bring your arms and hands to the floor, fingertips stretch the back as you bring your forehead in between your arms. Breathe into the back body here. Take a breath. Gently walk your hands back towards your knees. And let's come onto all fours on our mat. Removing whatever props you don't need on your mat. If you need to cushion your knees, go ahead and place a blanket underneath your knees. You're going to bring your knees mat width apart, big toes touch, hands in front. Bring your hips back, coming into your child's pose. Take a breath here. Once again, breathe into the back body. And then lift your head, gaze up, and come onto all fours. You want to make sure that your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. We're going to go through a few cat-cow poses to warm up the spine. As you inhale, the tailbone lifts, belly comes towards the floor, shoulders back, chin lifts. And then as you exhale, round the back, aim the tailbone towards the floor and bring your chin into your chest. Again, inhale, come up. Exhale, round. Move with your breath. The movement begins as soon as you start to inhale, and then as soon as you start to exhale. A couple more times at your own pace. Now find neutral spine, so you're not arched or rounded. The belly lifts towards the heart, and you're just going to circle your hips around and moving organically as your body asks you to. Remembering that us instructors, we're just here to guide you, and you are your own teacher, listening to what your body needs today. At any point, you are welcome to just find your breath and rest. Coming back to all fours, we're going to take the right arm alongside, reaching up to the sky, and we're going to bring it underneath the left armpit to thread the needle, coming to rest on your right shoulder, your head, back of your head on the floor. You can always bring a block or a pillow underneath your head if that's more comfortable. And then inhale, take that right arm up again one more time. Bring your gaze with it. And this time, when you bring the right arm underneath that left armpit, see if you can find a little bit more space here. Maybe the left hand reaches overhead, fingertips touching the floor. Maybe the left leg comes out to the side, and see how that feels, gazing up underneath your left armpit. Take a breath. And then pressing the left hand into the floor, coming back to all fours. Once again, find your neutral spine, engaging your core. Take that left arm up. Bring it underneath the right armpit to thread the needle on the other side. And then the inhalation brings that arm back up again one more time. And then see if you can find a little bit more space here to come to the back of that left shoulder, the back of your head. Maybe the right hand reaches up overhead. See what it feels like to take that right foot out to the side to give you that space to twist and turn. And then gently come back to all fours. Curl your toes under, lift the belly, lift the knees 2 inches up off the floor, and then press your hips back and up into your downward facing dog. You are welcome to stay on all fours if that is more comfortable for your practice. Bend the right knee and then bend the left. Take your dog for a little walk. Once again, bend the right knee, bend the left. So let's measure out for our practice today. We're going to inhale, gaze forward, and come into your high plank pose. You want to make sure that your shoulders are over your wrist and the heels are lifted and pressing back, inner thighs pressing up, gaze forward, and now bend the knees and come back into your downward facing dog. So when you're measuring for your downward facing dog, your feet and hands don't move as you go from plank to downward facing dog. Now gaze forward. Gently walk your feet to the top of your mat. This is a great place to take blocks underneath your hands or place your hands on your shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Sit bones back, crown of the head coming forward. And then as you exhale, let everything go. Let your head hang. Shake it yes, and shake it no. Once again, inhale, hands to shins or knees, lengthen the spine, come halfway up. And then exhale, release. This time, take your right hand to the back of your head, where your neck is and just let it go. Let it release to take the tension out of the neck. Bring your hands back to your shins, your knees, lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale, let it go. Pressing all four corners of your feet into the floor, engage in that low belly. Lift the arms all the way up, bringing your hands to your heart center. Take a breath. Then bring your hands alongside your hips, palms facing forward, coming into your mountain pose, Tadasana. And I'm welcome to pass it on to Pama.
Thank you, Elka. We're going to start at the top of the mat in our Tadasana, and we're going to engage our core. When you do work from the core, movement becomes effortless. So we're going to start by getting breath and core working together. As you inhale, reach those arms around, lift them up to the sky, open and expand through the heart. On your exhale, bringing palms together at heart center. Harness the energy here, lifting that low belly up into the rib cage. Pressing those palms here. We're going to do that again. Inhale, lift and lengthen. On the exhale, palms come together at heart center. One more round. Inhale, lift, open up through the heart. As you exhale, harness the energy, press those palms together at heart center. Now we're just going to start building, adding more heat, more spark. On your inhale, engage the core, lift that low belly, reach those arms up overhead. Now bend your knees, sink into your chair pose. Put a little more weight into the outer edges of your heels. Get the glutes working, engage, heart is lifting. Take another inhale. On your exhale, fold over your legs, release through the crown of the head. You're going to plant your hands to frame your feet, and you're going to step it back into a tabletop. Bring your right knee back, bring the left knee to meet it. Mindful that your knees are directly under your hips. Your wrists are under your shoulders. Here we're going to get the core engaged by bringing the belly up into the spine. You're pressing away from the earth, lifting the sternum away. Now we're going to isometrically drag the heels of the hands towards your knees. Visibly, nothing is moving in space, but internally, everything is fired up. You're dragging those heels of the hands back, crown of the head forward, core is firm. Take your right foot, step it to the back of your mat. From here, find stability. Lift the heel, hip height. Keep this core engagement. If you're stable, you can extend the left arm long. If you find you're shaking too much, keep both hands firmly on the mat. Take a deep inhale, extending from those left fingertips right out through that heel. Take another inhale. Exhale, release the hand, release the knee, and just rock your hips left to right, resetting between sides. Bringing belly to spine, isometrically dragging the heels of the hands towards your knees, crown of the head reaching forward. Keep that core engagement. Step the left foot to the back of your mat. Find stability. Now lift the heel, hip height. Keep extending through that heel. If you're stable here, now take it up to the next level by extending the right arm long, framing the ears. Keep extending from those fingertips right through that left heel. Stay with the breath. Keep belly lifting. Take another breath. Exhale, release the hand, release the knee, and just reset by rocking your hips left to right. And now we're going to come and sit on our mat. So coming to sit, you're going to bring the legs around to the front of the mat. Knees are going to be bent, feet planted on the mat. Take your hands behind your kneecaps. Get the length through the spine. Lift through the crown of the head. Deep inhale here. You're going to hinge back with that straight back. Come back a few inches. Challenge yourself. Now, if you need the stability of your hands holding on to your thighs, you can stay here. Otherwise, extend those arms forward. Palms face each other. Let's work with the breath. On your inhale, arms extend long to frame the ears. As you exhale, low belly lifting, reach those arms forward. Again, inhaling, lifting. Exhale, engage the core, arms extend forward. Let's just move here 2 more rounds. 1 more. And then extend those arms forward. Wrap the arms around your shins and give yourself a nice breath. Inhaling and exhale. Coming back through center, take the hands behind your thighs, lift and lengthen through the back body. We're going to take our hands behind our head. Keep the length through your back body. Open those elbows east and west. And we're just going to do gentle twists. Open the right elbow out to its own side as you twist to the right. Come through center, twist to the left. And we're just going to flow here, gently twisting from right to the left. But if you're ready to dial it up and increase your challenge, you're going to start tapping elbow to knee. As you twist to the right, lift that right knee and tap left elbow to the knee. Come through center, lift that left knee, tapping that right elbow, and start flowing from left to right. If you found that you've increased your challenge too much, you could take it down a notch. Keep moving with the breath. We're just going to flow for 3 and 2. 1 more each side. And then we're going to end through center. Wrap those arms around your shins and release. Inhale, lift your heart, reach those arms forward and allow each vertebrae to melt down to the mat. Once you come to the mat, hands are going to frame your side and your knees are going to be bent. We're going to take the right knee to tabletop, the left knee to meet it. Make sure your knees are directly over your hip points here. From here, extend your right leg long. And then as you exhale, low belly to spine, bring the right knee back in. Extend from the left and bring it back in. To increase the challenge, we're going to alternate from right to left. And to take it up a next notch, you're going to bring the arms into the game. So as that right leg extends, you can lift and lengthen through the left arm, bring it back home. Left leg extends, right arm behind you, bring it back in. So here we're doing our bird dog in reverse. Flowing with the breath, keep that back body glued to the mat, extending from right to left. And we're going to flow for 3 and 2. Do 1 more each side. And then take your knees, hug them to the chest, and make little circles in one direction. Circle it around in the other. Knees return to tabletop, making sure those knees are directly over the hips. Now for extra stability, hands are going to be down on the mat, framing the hips. If you want a little more of a challenge, bend your elbows, fingertips behind your head. From here, you're going to let the knees go towards the front of the mat, about 5-6 inches. And then as you exhale, bring that low belly in and up, bring the knees back to table. And let's just move here, releasing them down and bringing them back in. So you can continue with the bent knees, letting them drop down and come back to that tabletop. Or for a little more of a challenge, you can extend the legs long and go with straight legs, lowering down and bringing them back up to that 90-degree angle. And we're going to continue flowing. Keep that core engaged. Don't allow that low back to arch. And we're going to go for 3 and 2. 1 more. And then bend your knees, hug them to your chest. Make little circles in one direction, circle it around in the other. Extend those arms out into a T. Let the knees drape to the left, gaze to the right. Bring the knees up through center. Let them drop to your right as you gaze to the left. Roll over to your right side and come back to your tabletop. Here in your table, you're going to take your hands and walk them forward of your mat. So you're going to walk them out about 6 to 8 inches in front of you. Now shift your hips forward, get your shoulders directly over your wrists. You're going to lift your shins here, and we're going to do mini push-ups. So you can decide how deep you bend your elbows. You're going to bend your elbows and pause, and then press the earth away to straighten those arms. Again, you're going to bend and straighten. One more, bend those elbows, pause right here, and now straighten those arms. Option, if you have push-ups from plank pose, you can go there by lifting the knees up and bending into the chaturanga. So otherwise, you're going to keep the knees down, shins lifted, and we're just going to do 3 more. Bend and straighten, 3 and 2. And on our next one, we're going to bend those elbows, pause right here, and then lower the belly all the way down to the mat. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Take your right leg, lift it up off the ground, point through the toes, and then open it out to the right. Pause. Let that right leg release down to the mat. Take that left leg, lift it up high, pointing through the toes. Reach it out to the left and release. Your hands are going to be planted just off your mat. We're going to take a modified chaturanga or modified cobra. Belly to spine, lift that shoulder, lift both shoulder blades off the back body, and then peel your heart open, coming into your cobra pose. Exhale, melt your heart down to the mat. We're going to do 2 more. On your inhale, belly to spine, lift those shoulder blades, lift your heart, gazes forward. Exhale, melt it back down. Let's take 1 more. Inhale, get that belly to spine, lift and strengthen the back body as you lift through the heart, open and expand to the possibility. Exhale, melt it back down. Hands come close to frame your ribs, tuck your toes under, press your hips up and back, downward facing, or up and back to child's pose, sorry. Rock those hips left to right, let that heart melt. Find your breath. Rolling forward, coming back into your tabletop. Tuck your toes under, press those hips back into your downward dog, and walk out your dog. Reconnect to your breath. And pause. Coming up high in those toe mounts, bend your knees, send your sit bones up and back. See if you can press your sternum to your thighs, energetically pressing palms into the earth. Now walk your feet to your hands, coming into your forward fold. Take hands to your shins. Low belly is going to lift. Get the shoulder blades to lift. Heart is reaching forward. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, arms extend wide in a T. Rise up here through center. On the exhale, hands press together at heart center. Thank you for sharing your time. And now I'll hand it over to Barbara.
Thank you, Palma. We're going to go through a standing warrior series. Try and let your breath control your movement so that your movement can be like a meditation. We'll practice with compassion, with no self-judgment. And if anything doesn't work for you, please modify it so that you feel safe. So beginning at the top of the mat, let's inhale, arms sweep out and up, overhead, lift up, feel the skin stretching over the front line of your body. Imagine your fingerprints marking the sky. And then exhale, let your arms float down to the sides. And now I invite you to step your left foot long down the mat. Spin the left heel in about 30 degrees and bend your right knee so that it's stacked over your right ankle. Turn or square your hips toward the top of the mat now. And as you inhale, sweep your arms to the sky in your warrior one. And allow a long exhale. Inhale again. See if you can lift your heart a little higher, accepting the gift of life. And exhale your unique energy. On your next inhale, turn to face the long side of the mat in your warrior two. Check in with your feet. See that your right knee is stacked over the ankle, and see if your right heel is in line with your left heel or left arch for stability. Arms are outstretched to the sides. Turn your gaze over at your left fingertips. Feel the power in this warrior posture as your fingertips reach out to the sides. Take an inhale and then soften. Let the shoulders drop away from your ears. On your next inhale, flip your right palm up. Begin to slide your left palm down the back of the leg and tip back into the peaceful warrior. Gazing up at the sky, pressing your feet into the earth for a firm foundation. Savor the moment with a soft gaze or closed eyes. On your next inhale, rise up and shift forward into your side angle warrior. Your right forearm can rest inside the thigh or on a block. Left arm reaches overhead. Take a big breath here and exhale. Another big inhale here and breathe out. On your next inhale, rise back into your warrior two. Gaze over at the right fingertips again. And then straighten, don't lock the right knee. And hinge forward over your right thigh. Pause here for a moment. Take another inhale. And then pivot into your triangle. Press the feet into the mat, rooting down to rise up and create space for your breath. Arms are straight up and down. Maybe you gaze up at your left thumb. Just imagine somebody is tugging on that left wrist, bringing your fingertips closer to the sky. And breathe here. See if you can find the energy to sustain this posture and the softness to make it comfortable. Another inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, slowly rise up and then pivot so that your toes face the long side of the mat. Feet are in a V, maybe 3 or 4 feet apart. Heels are slightly turned in, toes are out. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. And exhale, lower. Let's slowly lower all the way down, folding over your legs. Let the crown of the head drop toward the mat. Take a breath and let everything go. On your next inhale, slowly unfold and come to standing. We're going to come into goddess now. So slowly bend your knees, lower your hips, tuck your tailbone toward the earth. You can rest your palms on your thighs, or if you feel like it, float your arms up to goddess, cactus arms, in full goddess pose. Drop your shoulders, lift and open your heart. Play with control and surrender here. Pushing, letting go. Send your breath into whatever sensation is calling to you. You're in your goddess, fierce, powerful, and wise. Take another breath here. On your next inhale, slowly straighten your knees. Stretch your arms wide. Root down with your feet into the earth to lengthen your torso. Lift up through your crown and expand through space. In your star, you are luminous and radiant, expanding and connecting with the universe. Here you find your spark, your magic, your Shakti. Feel the power to dream, to give, to take action, and to heal. Feel the Shakti as you open your heart to give and receive the gifts of life. Take another big breath in, and on your exhale, slowly release your arms, soften your legs, and turn back, coming to the top of your mat again. We'll inhale, arms sweep up, fingerprints marking the sky again, and exhale, arms float down to the sides. On your next inhale, step the right foot long down the mat, heel turns in about 30 degrees. Bend the left knee over the ankle, square your hips toward the top of the mat, and on your inhale, sweep the arms to the sky again. And breathe out. Rooting down, inhale, feeling steady and peaceful. Lifting your heart a little higher. And on your exhale, turn to the long side of the mat in your warrior two. Press your feet into the earth. Left knee is stacked over the ankle. Left heel is aligned with the right heel or the right arch. Arms are outstretched, gaze over the left fingertips. Feel the power in the warrior two. And then relax something. Soften the shoulders. Feel peaceful. On your next inhale, flip your left palm up. Slide the right palm down the back of the thigh and tip back into the peaceful warrior. Rooting down to the earth for stability. Savor the moment. Soft gaze, maybe closed eyes. Your next inhale brings you back up through center and then come into your side warrior. Resting the left forearm inside the left thigh. Right arm reaches overhead. Take a big inhale here. And breathe out. Next inhale brings you back to your warrior two. Gaze over at the left fingertips again. And then straighten the left knee. Hinge forward. And let's pivot into the triangle again. Rooting down through your feet. to rise up, creating space for your breath. Fingertips reach for the ground and reach for the sky. Take a breath here. Find the energy to sustain this posture and then soften something. Take another breath here as you explore control and softening or surrender. And on your next inhale, slowly rise up, lower the arms, bend into the left knee, push off with your right foot, come back to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms float out to the sides and up. Fingerprints mark the sky again. And exhale, bring your palms down through heart center to your sides. And I hand you over to Marla. Thank you.
Hi there. Please pick up both of your blocks. Bring your feet mat width apart. Stack your blocks in the long direction. Place them on the mat beneath you, in between your legs and slightly behind you. And then bring yourself down to sit on your blocks. Legs apart, backs of your forearms pressed into the insides of your knees. Feel your pelvis weighted down into your blocks to let yourself feel tall. Try not to let yourself slouch backwards. The trick is to find your sits bones and root them down. So let's find them. Let's tilt to your right. Slide your other hand behind your left butt cheek to the bottom. Find that bone down there. That's your sits bone. Give it a nice tap and a massage to wake it up, and then place it back down. And let's do the other side. Tilt to your left. Find your right sits bone. Wake it up with a tap and a massage. And then set it back down again. Now you can root down through both sits bones to let your inner spark start rising up within. Bring your hands to your belly and take a nice deep belly breath, filling up your belly with your prana, your gift of life. And then softly exhale it out. Now slide your hands down below your navel to your pelvis. Bring attention to those two sits bones and your pelvic floor spans between. Again, nice big inhale, filling your pelvis with air, feeling your sits bones widen like a big smile. And exhale to soften. One last time. Inhale deeply, feel your sits bones widening. And as you exhale, feel them narrow, feel your pelvic floor lift, navel lift, zip up your midline all the way to the base of your tongue. And exhale, chant. Nice. Feel your entire central channel opening wide, energy flowing from sits bones to crown of head. Bring your hands to heart center and feel your heart beginning to open with giving and receiving. Let yourself share the magic. Breathe. Now bring your knees together and take a moment to give yourself a nice big hug. Hug into what you want more of in your life. Now come off of your blocks, slide them to the top of your mat. Once again, find those sits bones to sit on as you bring your feet in front of you. Bring your strap nearby for later. Take one block, place it between your knees. Bring your hands, place them behind your thighs, near your knees. Again, nice big inhale into your pelvis. Exhale, press your feet, hug your blocks, and let your right leg float up to knee height. Now tip back a tad and let your left leg float up to meet the other. Either stay here, remember to breathe, or hug your block, extend your right leg, and then extend your left. Once again, breathe, and either stay here, or hug your block and extend your right arm and then your left, and breathe. Feel the strengthening of your front body and your back body. And now start bending your knees, bring your hands behind your thighs again. Let the soles of your feet float down to the floor and feel yourself lengthen, letting that inner spark rise one more time. Now sweep your hands along your mat. Shift your weight back so your shoulders are over your wrists. Nice big deep pelvic breath. Exhale, press your feet, hug your block, and let your hips float up to the sky to open up your front body. Feel your shoulders and your chest opening. Let yourself open to everything available to you. And on your next exhale, let your tailbone start dropping back down to the mat and float your spine back up. Now bring your hands back to behind your thighs. Again, deep pelvic inhale. Exhale, press your feet, hug your block, and start rolling down your back, making sure to keep hugging that block to assist you with control in your descent. Come all the way back down to rest on the mat. Palms facing down, slide your heels in closer to your butt. Again, invite that deep pelvic breath, and then exhale, press your feet, hug your block, and float your hips up to the sky for a bridge pose. Take your hands and clasp them behind your butt on the mat. Press your pinkies into the mat. Scoot your shoulders underneath, opening your chest up to all your opportunities. Deep pelvic breath again. Exhale, press your feet, hug your block, and this time lift your heels. Pressing your pinkies even farther into the mat, lifting your hips even more to invite more possibilities. Now let your heels descend, unclasp your hands, and gently start rolling down your spine. Remove your block. Separate your feet to mat width apart. Bring your knees together, point your toes in, and enjoy a moment of constructive rest, melting your sacrum into the mat. Your sacrum is that upside down triangle of bone in between your butt cheeks. Just let it melt. Tap into your desires. Invite them into your life. Now float your knees up towards the sky and let them roll to your right, gazing to the left. And feel the stretch across your left hip and waist. Now float your knees up again and roll them to your left, gazing over your right shoulder, feeling the stretch across your right hip and waist. And just breathe. Let your knees float up again. Bring them to hip width apart. Bring one knee up to your chest, your other knee up to your chest. And now cross your right thigh over your left into a butterfly, reaching for your shins. And on your next exhale, bring your knees towards your chest, feeling the stretch across your outer hips. Stretch your legs into a wide straddle, feeling the stretch of your inner thighs, your adductor muscles. And then cross your left leg over your right, reaching for your shins. Exhale, drawing your knees into your chest, feeling that stretch around the outsides of your hips, your external rotators. And just breathe into it. Now release and bring your knees to your chest. And just a little massage against the mat. Curl your toes up. Shine your right sole of foot up to the sky and extend your left leg down on your mat. Half happy baby. Reach your right hand to the pinky side of your right foot. If you cannot reach, this is when you use your straps to accommodate. Nice, big, deep pelvic breath. And as you exhale, draw your knee into your armpit, feeling your sits bones widen and your pelvic floor stretch. And soften. Now start bringing your left leg up. Release your right leg, bring it down. Shine your right sole up to the sky. Reach your left hand to the left pinky side of that foot. Use your strap if you need to accommodate. On your next exhale, bring the knee to your chest. Feel your sits bones widen and your pelvic floor stretch. Breathe and soften. Now start bending your right knee and bring that leg up to meet the other one for a full happy baby. Both hands are grabbing around pinky sides of both feet. If you cannot reach, you can hold on to your ankles or your calves, whatever works for you. Take a nice deep pelvic breath one more time. And as you exhale, draw your knees into your armpits as your sacrum weights down into the ground. And again, feel your sits bones widen and your pelvic floor stretch. And just soften and breathe. Now release your hands and bring your knees in towards your chest for one last hug. And just a gentle rock from the right to the left, massaging your low back against the ground. And then one last time, and we will roll ourselves over into a fetal position. Take a deep breath in and out. And then press the palm of your hand to push you up to your seated position. And feel yourself sinking in. Nice big inhale and sigh it out. Feel yourself rooted down from below. So let that inner spark rise above one more time. Hands to heart center. Find your magic. And now for Nanette.
Thank you, Marla. Yin yoga is the yoga of surrender. So I invite you to let go and be in the flow of letting go. So we're going to have one set up for the next several poses. So please access your blocks. And if not, you can use a pillow, a couch pillow. And we're going to set up the block on the medium side. So we have high, medium, and low. So the medium side and the lower side. And then take your bolster or bed pillow and place it on top. So you're going to be at a slant. So we're going to come and lay down and open up our heart. So bring your sacrum right up to where you need the pillow. Your feet are going to be parallel at first, and we're going to roll onto our bolster. Open up the heart and allow the arms to reach to either side. Take a nice deep breath. And then the feet could go mat width apart with the knees coming towards each other in a constructive rest pose. If you don't have any back pain or achiness at this moment, if you wish, you can bring the soles of the feet together in a bound angle. So two options here. So take a nice deep breath, close your eyes, and open your heart. Breathe right into your heart center. take a moment to scan your body, svadhyaya, self-study, and see where you can soften. Where are you holding tension? If your mind begins to wander, just notice and come back to the breath. See if you could allow the back body to soften as you feel your shoulder blades melt against the bolster. Surrender. And invite the magic of being in this present moment. 3 more deep breaths here. In through the nose and out through the nose. See if you could actually feel air coming inside the nostrils and warming your insides. And as you exhale, open up to the universe. On your next breath, slowly open your eyes and walk yourself back up. So with your setup as is, we're going to come onto our bellies in a surfer position. So we're going to put the front of our legs on our setup and allow the belly to melt down. Bring your arms, your forearms right underneath you, and bring the forehead onto the tops of the hands. Just notice how you feel. Allow the top of the hips to sink into the mat and let go of any grasping of the lower back. Allow the tailbone to be long and your sacrum to be soft. As we breathe, notice if we can let something go from the back body. The back body represents our past. So see if you can breathe and let go of something that no longer serves you, that perhaps had value, but no longer serves you now. Once again, notice where you're holding tension and see if you can direct your breath like a laser beam and let that tension go. On your next breath, we're going to walk ourselves out of this pose. See if you can bend your knees, keeping your setup. You're going to come back up and we're going to come into a belly down twist pose. So we're going to come to a seated position, stacking our legs, bent legs. Our bolster or alternative is to our right, and we're going to twist so that we can lay our belly and our chest on our support. So we're getting a nice, deep, transverse rotational twist. So your head can go to the same side as your knees. Relax down on the bolster. Or if you don't have any neck tension, you can turn to the opposite side. Decide what works for you. This is your practice. And we're going to take several deep breaths here. So this is a pose that nourishes us. It is great for digestion, elimination, circulation, and respiration. So we get a lot out of this pose. You can reach the arms long, relax into the pose. Treat yourself with kindness. If something doesn't feel right, back out. Find your edge, but don't go over the edge. On your next breath, we're going to walk ourselves back up, and we're going to switch to the opposite side. So if you wish, you can just move your legs over and bring your left hip to face your bolster. Stack the legs, twist, and lay the belly and chest onto your setup. Again, your head could go in the same direction as the legs, or if no neck tension, okay. And breathe. Allow yourself to let go and be fully present. One more breath here. And on your next breath, we're going to walk ourselves back up. And we're going to come into a supported legs, Vipariti Karani, or legs up the wall. But instead of the wall, we're going to use our setup here. So the block that is lifted up, we're going to lay it down. So both blocks are at the lowest level, or your cushion. Place your bolster right over it. And if you wish, you can take another blanket on top to raise the height. So we're going to bring our legs higher than our heart to encourage the reverse flow of prana, energy, life force. So we're going to stack our legs onto the blocks, bolster. As you pile high, if you have yet another blanket, you're welcome to place that underneath as well. And notice that your legs will be higher than your heart as you roll down, slowly firming your core and come into your reclined or legs up the wall pose. Allow your back to reach the mat. Take that arch out. If you can, find the natural curve of the back. Relax, release, let go. Follow your breath. Once again, bring your awareness back to your body and see where you are holding tension. Relax your jaw, relax your face, relax the shoulders. Surrender. No effort, just be. Two more breaths here. Inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to come to Shavasana. You can take your legs on either side of your setup and leave them here for your Shavasana. You're welcome to use your bolster or pillow to put under your knees. If you wish to have a little height there, it helps the lower back to fully relax as you come into Shavasana. So from here, we're going to extend long, extend the arms overhead and take a nice deep stretch. And on the exhale, allow the lower back to melt, the entire body to melt into the earth. Take a moment here for a body scan. So scan from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. And see, once again, if you're holding any tension. Take a moment to squeeze and release. So squeeze every muscle that you can access right now, and then release. Once again, squeeze, tighten wrists, fists, ankles, buttocks, face, stomach, whatever you can access, and let it go. Release. One more time, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And on the exhale, release with sound. Ha. Shavasana. So this afternoon, we're going to do a metta meditation. Metta meditation directs loving kindness first towards ourselves, then towards someone we might find challenging in our lives, and then to all beings everywhere. So let's cultivate this intention to open our heart by silently offering the following phrases. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be at peace. Say each of those metta phrases with enough, slow enough that you can connect to their meaning and their intention behind it. Sit with that a moment. Open your heart and experience that loving kindness and compassion towards yourself. And now, let's send that same loving kindness towards someone who we find difficult in our lives, a challenge. And let's say those phrases to that person. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be at peace. Send those loving words of loving kindness out to that person. And let the flow of love come from this place of peace. And now to all beings everywhere, may they be happy. May they be safe, and may they be at peace. Feel the magic of being fully present in this very moment, and allow the love to flow. Slowly bring tiny movements back into your fingers and toes. Rotate wrists and ankles. And gently reach overhead and stretch arms and legs in opposite direction. Taking a nice deep breath, expanding. And on the exhale, draw the legs into your chest. Give yourself a hug and roll onto your right side. Cradle your head in your right arm. Feel the breath in your top nostril. And when you're ready, use your left hand to push yourself to a seated, cross-legged position. And come bring hands to prayer pose. And we will now join Alka again.
Thank you. Keeping your eyes closed to stay within, lift and lengthen your spine. Pressing your thumbs into your heart, offer gratitude. And then you're welcome to join me in chanting Om one time to close our practice. Inhale. And take a breath and take a moment to just notice, tapping into your heart, into the magic within. With our gratitude and the light within our heart to yours. I bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday, Valentine's Day weekend. Thank you to all the donors and participants for really helping us reach more than we even expected. I mean, over $5,000 for this worthy cause. Really, thank you from my heart to yours. And I'm going to hand it back to Melissa for the door prizes and the raffles.
Thank you, Alka. As we mentioned, if you were attended today and you're here, you're going to receive an Athleta shop card. Now, we have most everybody's addresses because you're going to receive them in the mail. But if you did not give your address through registration or a donation, you'll find in the chat box an email address to just send us your mailing address, and we'll get that to you soon. Now, Alka, you mentioned door prizes, and we have a lot to give, but we decided to give 2 early, so we're going to give 2 now. We pulled the names during the drawing, so congratulations to Sandy Graham and Lisa Major, who have both won St. Jude swag bags. So congratulations.
Woohoo!
For the other door prizes, we have, so just, you already have it entered because you gave $10 and an entry is $10, but to increase your chances, you can give more. So if you give more, every $10 donation you give will count as an entry to win these door prizes. They include a $50, $100 Athleta shop card, $100 to Hickory and Tweed, dinner for 2 at Modern Barn, dinner for 2 at City Limits Diner, and 2 free yoga classes with Present Wisdom, which I'm all in for. That was just an amazing class. So you can go to the Yoga Gives website. You can also scan this QR code on your screen to enter more. We will be doing the drawing this coming Friday, February 19th, so you have until then to continue to enter. Now, I know that I could never say thank you enough, but I'm going to try. So thank you to everyone that attended. It means so much to St. Jude and our families. And thank you so much to the Present Wisdom community for doing this for St. Jude. I salute you and I thank you so, so much. So we are going to end with a video called Because of St. Jude. It's about 3 minutes. You're welcome to stay and watch. Afterwards, there will be no more program, but we will hang on if you have any questions about St. Jude or Present Wisdom, and we will be here. Thank you all.
days it feels like it's never gonna stop.
It's kind of a mental war. Sometimes you just feel like it's not going to get any better.
Lo primero que le pregunté a mi papá fue, papi, yo me voy a morir.
When you go through suffering, you learn a lot about yourself. Because stuff comes out of every bad situation.
Dark circles all around my eyes. I was just out of it.
In one moment, those 3 words, you have cancer, and my whole life changed.
Without cancer, who am I?
I feel like I could do anything. I could go to college, be a nurse, be a doctor, anything.
I'm a straight-A student, focusing on getting my bachelor's degree in journalism. I'm just doing one step at a time.
I would like to go in the filming industry. It's kind of always been something awesome to me, but it's gonna take some work.
While I was going through chemo, I learned how to read greens. I chipped and putted, I worked on sand shots, stuff that I would need to know. The best score I've had is an 86, but I really want to get down to 85 or less. I've been working at it, and I think that that's achievable now.
I'm not the same person I was when I first went into this. I'm a better human being and individual because I went through St. Jude. It wasn't like a hospital, it was like a fun-loving community, a family.
You and I have vowed that we will do everything in our power to bring about the defeat of these catastrophic diseases. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, world-renowned.
I need your help.
Advancements in pediatric science.
I can't do it alone.
And clinical care.
Please help me.
We're going to treat children of every creed, nationality, and color. And by the grace of God, it shall be done.